So yes all, a very good evening. So actually today I'm going to make a video on RBI syllabus analysis again because actually I attempted a mock test today. Just simply attempted, not in a too serious manner. Just attempted and saw what questions were there. Whatever I could try, I tried it my best. Whichever I couldn't, which I found it's taking a lot of time, I just put it and attempted. Okay, yeah. Right now uh, so right now what is happening is, so at the very first point of time you should not be 100% serious while attending the exam. So when you attend your mock, it should be the rule that 100% you should be perfect while attempting the mock, so that helps you provide some analysis. Okay, that is what is my motto. Like say if you have learned something, then try to attempt. Don't simply without learning try to attempt. I just attempted without learning much because I wanted to know how the questions are coming, what is all happening, and how I have to make my preparations. Mark tells you what you have to do preparations, right? So according to that, we can do the preparation and give a mock again, right? Yeah. So according to that, I had taken mock from Guidely, wherein I could see that they are telling that you have to get 75 marks. That is a cutoff. So this one I was about to tell 75 marks is a cutoff, right? And I also saw that some important things that, so especially in the points I've seen many important things I discussed with that. So right now see, guide is asking for 75. You have to get 75. That is what I told. If it is an all Indian examination, especially for South Indian people, competing with North Indian is not so easy. North Indian, they take very good marks. If you can see any of the videos, exam analysis after the exam, check with the video. The one thing you get is 95, 96, 97. You can see the live comments only. It's really true, right? So that is what is here is this 75 is supposed to get right now. So what is 75 strategy here? 75 strategy here when I saw the complete, the mock paper. First I saw with English, wherein in English the syllabus are, I'll define the syllabus. So the first one is here, what I can say, the rearrangement of the statement according to the, what I can say, order. Okay, if there is no rearrangement, you can type no rearrangement required. Okay, that is the first one. And the second one is that, so on the second one is that you're supposed to find out the wrong ones. Okay, there are some statement, one statement is divided into four parts, and the statement divided into four parts. In each part or in one of the part there will be a mistake, so you're supposed to find out the mistake. Then you're supposed to fill up the blanks. Okay, fill up the blanks. Then next thing is you're supposed to, there will be some highlighted words in the paragraph. If there is any word that has to be replaced, or if there is any word, there is a spelling mistake in that word, so that also is supposed to check. Okay, then next we have is that we are supposed to, what I can say, paragraph. Next is paragraph. After paragraph we are supposed to fill up the blanks only. How it has come is fill up the blanks in the sense there is a dash over there and a word given there. If that word is suiting that, fill up the blanks, there will be a dash there, like this. There will be a dash and a bracket. There is a word in the bracket, and you have to check whether that word is fitting the statement, this bracket word. If this bracket word is not fitting the statement, then we are supposed to, what I can say, check with the options and put it. Okay, so this is what is happening right now. Okay, these are all from the English. Okay, so English you got to know, fill up the blanks. Then what I can say, sentence rearrangement according to the order, and finding out the wrong part of the sentence and correcting it. And even in the fill up the blanks, you're supposed to find out the proper word that is fitting into, and the paragraph, and the word which is wrong, or word which is a spelling mistake in the paragraph. This is English. Now coming on to quants. Actually quants is a big deal. Even reasoning is a big deal because reasoning had a lot of questions with respect to the, what I can say, the seating arrangement, floor and flat, and box arrangement. That also will tell what, okay na. So in the quants, actually in the quants, many of them will struggle to do quants because they don't know the tricks and tips of multiplication, addition, subtraction. They're not quite faster. Fine. If they're not quite faster, then what you can do is, I observed that there are 5 questions from the quadratic equation, which is very easy, and there were 15 questions from the number system itself, simplification, number system, which number system, which was a very good start. Okay, if you learn that much, it is very good start. So 15 plus 5. So one question is carrying 1 mark. 15 plus 5 is equal to 20. Yeah. Here how much? Here in English, I hope we had some 30 questions. 30. 30, yeah. 30. So we got 50. And then you can practice with boat and stream, which is very easy. I found out the questions, which is very easy, and I'll suggest some of the ideas on how to do boats and streams, and also I'll discuss the playlist for boats and streams also. I'll share other playlist which is consisting of boats and streams. So then we can do average. Average is very easy. Average, boat and stream and average. So we got with 22 marks. Okay, this is 20 plus 2 again. Then we can do with respect to, if possible, ratio and proportion, and we can do with mixture and alligation if we find it out easy. And along with, we can do with, there is simple and compound interest question is there, discount question is there, and we had questions with the age. Ages is very important, guys. Ages is very important. Ages were given in terms of ratio. This average, how it is given is, there was some students, so some 5 students average is total, but 5 students average is 80 also. I'm just giving you a basic example. 5 students average is 80, and in that, one student's value was misspelled. Okay, one student's value was misspelled as some 84, but it was really 80. So what is the new average? Like that, they might ask you a question that was there in the given. So that is ages you can do. So if we can do these sorts of things, once again 22, 23, 25. So total we are getting 25 marks for 35. Right, for 35. And we have data interpretation. Yeah, correct. That's most important. Data interpretation. What you can do in data interpretation is that, so in the data interpretation, we can try out two. We can try how to solve the very basic from the data interpretation. Very basic in the sense that they might ask you the average number of sales between these 2 days, or these 2 months, or these days, like that. So what kind of simple data in this thing interpretation questions are there, which you can really try out using this normal addition, multiplication, subtraction, these average concepts, that is all total divided by 100, like that. Those questions you solve. So those questions, I hope you can solve with 3 to 4 questions, which is very easy and normal solving. Okay, this is for the one who's really basic, starting in the exam. Okay, see, I wanted to tell you one thing. Whatever the pressure we get, please don't get into the pressure, because this is not one-time clearance. See, one time if you clear prelims, one time you can't clear mains, right? Or if you clear mains, you can't clear interview you can't clear. So it is not you can't clear, is because you are not getting the what I can say, sometimes it happens to many cases. You are not getting the good marks because the questions are tough, time limit is more, questions are tough, but understanding level and doing should be also good. So that is what, there are some criteria and strategies, so please try to put in it out. So what I tell is, no pressures will make you crack exam very easily. I'm seeing from so many days what the pressure I'm getting, but the pressure is that to finish off in one shot is not an easy task. Not an easy task. Nobody can't do it until and unless you practice. Many of them are taking 3 years, 4 years of time sitting at home practicing for this without having a penny in their hand. They're depending upon parents. They don't have any penny. They don't even work. They spend for this only. Many students, only 60%, only some for some 40 to 30 to 40% of students are working and doing. Working and doing it is not at all easy at all, because when you work and come, it is already time, and then you get really drained and you can't start with working. Okay, so that's also not easy task. Many of the people are sitting at home and practicing, and their parents are also really patient. So if any parent is testing you to finish it off in one shot, it is not an easy task. Please tell them, please give this example. Okay, why I'm telling this is because this is not an easy task. If you are working for this, only this should be done, or else we can't do anything. We can't go for anything. If you go for anything, then that becomes a blockage for you again, and that blockage, you know, like that blockage might make you not study this also. So all things doing together, it is not an easy task. So all this I'm really telling because I'm seeing through. So okay, yeah. And we discussed PM and I. What is this PM and I? Just a minute. uh, okay, I wrote something, but I forgot what I wrote there. It's okay. So this much you can practice. Okay, this much you can practice in the very basic stages. Prelims, mains and interview. Yeah, correct. That was all. Yeah. Okay, this much we can do it as a basic. As a basic, if you can do, at least we can do some 30 questions for 35 questions. If some DI questions are good, don't attempt all the DI questions. If some questions are easy, direct, you can attempt those DI questions without fail. Okay, and attempting one question, if it is wrong, will lead you to negative marking. So negative marking, please don't get into the problem of negative marking, because if you've written your exam very well, if a negative marking is making you your marks very much less than the marks you have written, you can't. Say for example, if your cutoff is 75, you have got 75, and if some questions you have attempted which is really wrong, if it is getting a negative marking, those questions and questions to whatever the negative marking you have, that will also be calculated and that gets subtracted by the 75, then your cutoff will become low. So you could not reach the cutoff. So please try to avoid negative marking cases. Okay. Now, so next thing is that, so we saw about the reasoning concept. In the reasoning concept, I saw lot of questions with respect to the seating arrangements and floor and flat, as well as the what, as well as I saw the questions with respect to the box arrangement. Okay, that you have to take a lot of time and understand. It is not so easy to get into one sense directly. And we had a question with respect to number series. So number series, they had given 5 numbers and they're telling some things to say, if you rearrange the numbers, say 5 numbers, say for example if 256 is given, so they tell that first they're supposed to arrange this 256 like first and third number rearrangement, that is 620, that is 652. First and third number rearrangement alla, right? 652. Then next thing is, once again is supposed to rearrange the second and third, that is 625. Then what will be the third digit from the second number from the left or right, like that they used to ask a question, and there were many questions so and so on regarding this. And if you arrange all the 5 numbers from the left in the ascending order, so which will be your second highest or third highest number, like that they ask you the question. And that also asks you some alphabetic numbers stating that from a letter, sorry, from a word, if you take first, second, third or fourth letter, and from a four set of meaningful or I can say the word, that is 4 letter meaningful word. So then what will be your, so what I can say, what will be your this one, which one, yeah, what will be your third letter from the left or second letter from the right, like that they have asked 2 questions. Okay, and then they have asked numbers also, and they have told that if 1 2 3 4 5 6 number are given for an example, and they've told that this numbers you have to check with the spacing of the numbers, the spacing of the numbers in the sense in between those 2 numbers or in between those 2 letters, that should be a same difference. E and F. E and F is having the same difference, like that, like how they are adjusted in the alphabet, in the English alphabet or in the number series, like that only it should be how many are there. You have to check with that. Okay, I hope you got it. See here you can see, if you can consider, I'll give you a different number because all these are arranged in alphabetical orders. 1, 3, 5, 6, 9, 14. Like this. See, this is 5 and 6. They are arranged in the numeric series in the same way. Like that, you're supposed to even find it out in the alphabetical order and get the result. Okay. Yes. Now, they had asked the questions on these sets, and they've asked a question on some chocolates. Kind of question I saw in the mock. Chocolates kind of question, in the sense how many chocolates everybody is having and what. And they asked with respect to blood relation. Blood relation question was quite easy, and these questions were asked for your what I can say, this one, which one, that is the reasoning concept. And reasoning you can score 35 out of 35 if you practice it properly well. But one thing is, time kills with respect to 3 questions. That is, one is chocolate question, one is sitting arrangement. First, 4 questions: chocolate, sitting arrangement, and what I can say, the floor and flat, along with the box arrangement. This question takes you a lot of time, so try to learn all the easiest thing what I mentioned, that is numbers. And that asked with respect to the questions on this, which one, coding and decoding. And also that asked with the statement and conclusion, as well as statement and conclusion with respect to even the greater and lesser symbol, like this. Is greater than or equal to h, which is less than or equal to t. Like that they've asked, and they've asked a conclusion, that is also there, and these things are there. So what I kindly request you to is, I told with respect to this arrangements of number and this one, and they'll give you a word after, and they say that if you take with respect to first, what I can say, 5, 1, 3 and 5, and they try to tell you to make a 3 or 4 letter word and state that which is the second letter from the left or right, that question. And then this coding and decoding, statement and conclusion, and this question, and also regarding this number ones, right? So all these things, whatever easies are there, now I mentioned those things, you practice it well, so that you can do those questions within no seconds. That is what I'll also do it. Okay, so that is why what I saw, I'm really telling it in an open hearted, and really I'm not like telling like anything. It is like I'm really telling it in an open heart. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ಭಯ ಬೀಳ್ಸೋ ತರ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಆ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಏನ್ ನಾನು ನಿಜ ನೋಡಿದೀನಿ, I am telling the same. Okay, yes. So please do practice those. I'll also practice those with topics, so that those questions will really yield you good marks. Really yield you good marks. Those questions, what you can do is, if you solve all those questions, then you are supposed to, what I can say, work it out those questions and do it so faster. So those questions can help you reduce your time, and then you can give more time to this solving of these sets of questions, that is your sitting arrangement, and what I can say, these 4 questions: sitting arrangement, box, chocolates, and this floor and flat. Okay, yeah. And actually what happens is, first your English comes in, then quants comes in, then reasoning comes in. Okay, so reasoning comes at the last. No section changes in RBI. So this is no section changes from RBI. Okay, to attempt the section itself in a proper order, no section changes. So this is what I was about to tell regarding this. So these sets what I told right now, these sets what I told right now, these questions what I told right now, these questions are the most important that you can crack. So if you can calculate 35, 30 and 30, so 60, right? 60 plus 35. So if you can calculate, so 60 plus 30, 95, you can get it without fail, only with respect to this topic. But if you understand the questions, types of questions, and work it out, if you understand the 5 types of questions and work it out, that is more than sufficient. Okay, so this only I will be starting, and I will be making videos for this also. So please support us, please support us, please do help us out, because we are also working hard for you, and I'm telling really things with a genuine, and I'm not making you solve more and more questions. I'm only going through examination, because I see many of the YouTube videos wherein they solve Kant's question every day, every day, every day, every day. Yeah, that those questions you can practice. Quant reasoning, English, and those questions you can practice. But focusing only on exam matter is good. Focusing only on exam matter is good. So I'm only focusing on exam matter, focusing on exam sets of questions, working out with it, making you understand the concept. It is not practicing lots and lots of questions, taking lots and lots of questions. You have to analyze how many types of questions are there and how to solve those questions, and the basic formulas. That's it is sufficient, that's it is sufficient, nothing else. Nothing else, because I've really seen that. Okay. So weekends for 95, we can study with this. So I'll be focusing on this every day. We'll do the lecture series. So actually I took one mock test to know how it is going. And what is the sensitization is that, so it is like we, I'm sorry for the distraction. Yes, it is like what I can say. We are studying from the very beginning. Doesn't make sense, Anta. So it is like, what is the matter is, when you study even at the end also, things will be remembered, right? What I'm trying to tell is, ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂದಾನೆ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಅಂತ. That is also a right one. But what is the matter is, some students have an idea that if I study at the ಎಂತ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ವಾರ ಮುಂಚೆ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು 15 ಡೇಸ್ ಮುಂಚೆ ನಾನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಇಟ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕ್ವೈಟ್ ಗುಡ್. ಬಟ್ if you don't know anything, if you don't know anything, don't try to practice in the 15 days or in the 10 days period. Okay, if you know things and if you want to just revise, take 15 or 10 days before, right? So if you don't know anything, you really a fresher, start from the very beginning to understand all the things. Okay, 15 and 10 days you can't do it until and unless you know anything. If you're 100% zero, 15 days and 10 days before studying doesn't work. If you know some things and if you want to put in an effort, you can take 15 and 10 days of time and start working properly and understanding the basics and the types of problems and working with that. That will help you a lot. And please do make sure that you have to start with the mind calculation. Even mind calculation also is one of the good agenda, right? It's not right, you have a paper, I know that, but time should permit your paper, right? They'll give you a paper for solving, you will be having a pen for solving, worksheet is given, but worksheet should permit your time. If 60 minutes, 45 minutes only, can you do all the multiplication, addition, subtraction process in worksheet? No, it's all that goes with your mind and your time for a question. Correct? So all those things matter. So I kindly request you to work it out with it. So we'll also be working out together. If anybody is working for RBI examinations, please do watch it without fail, or any other exam such as having this pattern, you can watch it, because this is helping a lot in this types of exam. This is the agenda. Okay, now so this is what is all for today in the health. So I hope this helped you a lot, and please to watch this out. I'm a very new fresher, and you all know, but one thing is that whatever I'm seeing it in real, whatever I'm finding it in real, I'm telling, so that if we can work it out, we can come out from a good this thing in the health, good results in the health. I'll just end up the session, and thank you.